G'day, Foo and Scott here from HeliOps magazine. Okay, so there's a couple of things about when you come to the Black Hawk. It's a fully utility helicopter that operates in austere environments, and it's got wheels. Like, a lot of people can't get past the skids, and if it doesn't have skids, it can't operate in austere environments. So let's talk a little bit about what wheels do versus skids.
Yeah, I mean, going past the obvious that skids are for kids, what you can do with a tail wheel, I mean, particularly the configuration of the wheels, and that's really important. So if you look at the configuration of the wheels on the Black Hawk, you look at the configuration of the wheels on the Sea King to an extent, the configuration of the wheels on the Chinook.
Yeah.
When you are operating in DVE conditions, what it enables you to do is flare the aeroplane continually right down to the ground without having to check forward.
Yeah, DVE, degraded
vision environment, absolutely right. So dust, sand, snow, mist, whatever it is. You can plant that back wheel on, you can keep the nose pitched up, keep that decelerated attitude all the way down to the ground. With skids, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So with skids, you are committed at some stage, actually relatively early in the approach, to checking forward so you don't have a tail rotor stroke. So having this beautiful sort of layout, the Black Hawk's got, the Chinook's got wheels at the back as well. You can flare the aeroplane hard onto the ground, and that's really important.
So you can keep your speed up until the last minute, whereas with a skidded aircraft you have to slow down and you don't keep in front of them.
And that's absolutely it. So with a Chinook, with a Black Hawk, you keep some airspeed on really relatively late into the approach, which means you are clear of any dust cloud that you're generating.
Yeah.
So if it's a self-generated DVE, because it's snow or it's dust or it's sand, you stay ahead of it until the very last stage, and you do a 0-0 technique, which means that you flare the aeroplane hard at the end so you arrive at zero altitude at zero airspeed.
So you've flown wheeled aircraft, I've flown wheeled aircraft from a military point of view, but not on a civil point of view. Some of the civil aircraft with wheels is all really based around concrete or the tarmac sort of environment. But actually, if you look at some of the wheeled aircraft, you can operate in really austere environments, spongy terrain and the likes, and still get a really good outcome.
And I think it depends on the role of the aircraft. So if you look at a lot of civilian aeroplanes that have wheels, they are very, very delicate VVIP aeroplanes that are never going to see a landing outside a very well manicured lawn or a helipad.
Hold on. This EMS going to the most random places and can still handle the gentle. So whereas a lot of people look at that and go, well, hey, you couldn't land in the places that I can land with a skidded aircraft versus wheeled aircraft.
Yeah, indeed you can. But we come back to horses for courses again. Yeah. Depends on what you're going to do. But a lot of the helicopters, for example, the Bell 222, aeroplanes like that, Augusta 109, have relatively fragile undercarriages because they are VIP chariots.
Well, yes, but high point loading.
Yeah,
as well, which is an issue.
Which is an issue, and it means if you get it wrong, if you arrive with any form of yaw or drift, you are going to shear those undercarriages off. The skids will give you a bit more protection from that. But the problem with the skids is that you can't flare the aeroplane hard to the ground with skids, because if you hit in the back of the skids, you've probably already dinked the tail rotor.
But still, like, if you look at the environments that civil helicopters operate in, it's not a necessity to operate in a dusty...
And that's the horses for courses argument, which is, so the Black Hawk is what it is because it was designed to a military need, repurposed into a civilian need. Several of these civilian helicopters are designed for that need in the first place.
Yeah, and one of the issues though with wheeled helicopters, especially with a nose wheel, a lot of the nose wheels don't have a park brake on them, so it's only the main wheels, and so that becomes an issue when you're operating on slope landings.
And in fact, in my opinion, I would say this as an ex-Chinook driver, a nose wheel tricycle helicopter is, in a military context, is the worst of all worlds. It is awful because you are as restricted as a skid in many ways, and then you've got all the issues of wheels as well.